We live.
Yo, I move in tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I move with fertility, giving birth to all the truth in the Caesar's planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings that receive this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time for no minions. I just want to make this money, stack my bread up with millions, do this for my children, and do it all for my legacy. Let me see, wisdom, knowledge, long life, and longevity. I'm a king. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king.
I'm a king, I'm a king. We some kings, yo. Salute to everybody that just hopped on the podcast today. Y'all know it's the Virility Kings podcast. I want to thank every last one of y'all for watching us right now. Go ahead and throw a like on the video, wherever you're watching at. Y'all know it's me, the one and only Black Superman, keeping it 1,000 with y'all. I got my man Tony, Miggity Mag, man. Oh, this way. How you feeling? How you feeling today, Tony Mag, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Enjoying this cold weather and just keep it moving.
Hey, man, me and you both, man. You know, I'm on the East Coast too, and it's snowing right now, man. It's been snowing all day. It actually started last night, but yeah, I mean, it's snowy, man. How about what is looking like up there, man, in VA?
Right now, the roads, it's still coming down pretty thick. I'm hearing the trucks outside still moving around on the streets. Hopefully it stops snowing and the roads be clear in the morning.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're hoping for the same thing, man. We're hoping that by tomorrow, you know, things will be a little more clear in the roads and things like that. So that's lit, man. That's what's up. So y'all see the title of this video, man. Y'all see the title of this podcast. I think it's a very important thing and something to really think about, especially men, you know. This podcast is obviously for men mostly, but we talk to the ladies too. We love y'all too. But, you know, is porn bad for men? Is porn bad for men? This is a great question. I'm so glad we opened this fucking can of worms up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that men really need to think about this. You know what I'm saying? I think we all need to think about it. So we're just going to dive right in. No time wasted. We're going to start off with porn addiction. Porn addiction. I'll go ahead and start off with this one. Now, I honestly believe that porn addiction is just as bad as any other addiction, in my personal opinion. Even if we're going to say drug addiction, you know, being an alcoholic, porn addiction is a real thing because it can affect you in so many different ways. I think a lot of people actually overlook how this could be very negative, you know, to you, to your mind, to your psyche, to your body. There's a number of things. We're going to dig deep into it. But in my personal opinion, obviously, yeah, addiction is bad. Any addiction is bad in my personal opinion. Alcohol, porn, drugs, you know, like we were just saying. But, you know, there's been a lot of claims and talks about how porn has really been detrimental to marriages, to relationships, to, and porn addiction, I mean, to, you know, people's careers, men's careers, relationships, friendships. And, you know, when you're addicted to something, we ain't even got to really focus on porn right now. When you're addicted to something, that has a lot of your focus, a lot of your attention, a lot of your devotion, because it's something that you need to get met, you know? Like, we all have levels of needs that we need met. We're all different. So when you're addicted to porn and when you're addicted to something, that gets real high in the need hierarchy, you know what I'm saying? It gets very high, almost to the point where, like, you really like, fuck everything else, yo. I need to watch porn and I need to handle my business. And, you know, obviously that's very unhealthy in a lot of ways, man, in my personal opinion. What you think about it, Tony? What's your view on porn addiction? And yeah, what's your view on that?
Pretty much the same what you said. When it gets to an addicting part where you neglect your own regular everyday responsibilities, that's a problem. That's a problem. I believe the chemical is called dopamine. Whenever there's something that triggers that dopamine, that sense of pleasure, Doesn't have to be porn, like you said, drugs, alcohol, whatever. When it starts triggering that, it just becomes addicting because you want it more. And then it leads down that dirty rabbit hole where you got this little bit, but you need more to get a bigger fix, and you don't know where you end up at that point. So to to try to catch yourself before you go down that rabbit hole is very important. You have to be very aware of what's going on with you, how you're reacting to certain things.
Yeah, man, I totally agree, man. Because any rabbit hole can be terrible for you. You know what I'm saying? You jump into a hole, you know what I'm saying, and you don't really know how deep that hole is. You don't know where that hole is going. I mean, that is a very dark, scary place, man, for any person, any man. You get the most manliest, masculine man in the world. We have to understand that we're still human at the end of the day. And, we don't want to be dropping into a hole that, could really take us to a place that we don't want to be, and that's concerning anything as men. We want to know where we're going for the most part. But I want to make sure I say this too when we start this. This video is not to necessarily bash porn. I want to make sure I say that this podcast is not to necessarily bash porn. This episode is really to just bring light to the full totality of porn. You know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, responsible adults can partake in whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? We're not judging anybody here or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I like to really focus on exposing the full truth of things so that we can all really make a good conscious decision on things and know that we have all the truth or most of the truth in the situation. So I want to make sure I said that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bashing anybody or bashing porn. We ain't trying to do that. We just want to bring light to some of the things some people may be looking over or men may be looking over. All right. So there's another one, man. I'm going to let my man Tony start this off, man, in terms of your perspective, man. Now, porn. Can porn destroy a man's productivity? Can porn destroy a man's productivity? What do you think about this, Tony? What's your view?
Yes, it can. Just like we were discussing with the addiction and the anything that you get addicted to, when they start hitting those dangerous levels, when you start sacrificing your productivity to be at it. Okay, I'm going to call out of work today just because I want to continue drinking, or I'm not going to hang out with my kids because I still want that special daddy time, that special daddy alone time. It's when it starts doing that, and hopefully you'll see yourself doing that. That's where we're at the dangerous parts. So yes, it can be a threat to your productivity.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with that, Tony. That's an awesome point. A lot of us men, we have different responsibilities that we need to take care of. Kids, our jobs, our careers, the way that we feed ourselves and our families. So yeah, I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, think about porn for a minute. What you were saying earlier, you spoke about dopamine, which is a powerful thing to think about. Watching porn, especially watching specific, types of porn that literally makes you feel amazing by watching it, that's shooting up that dopamine. Poof, 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 poof. And, anything that we could think of, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, a lot of that has a lot to do with dopamine as well. And once we start getting addicted, we got to keep getting that dopamine rush. We got to keep getting it. What if you got, responsibilities of things you need to be doing? You know what I'm saying? I'll use a prime example. So I just dropped a powerful workout program called Superhuman Metabolic Workout Program. If y'all ain't heard of it, definitely rock with it. It's going to really help you boost your metabolism and all that good stuff. Shameless plug, you know what I'm saying? But, I created that program and I really put a lot of time into it and effort into it and even research to make sure that it's very effective for people, right? And I could think about it right now. Like, if I was really locked into porn, like I once was at one point, I probably wouldn't even fully finish my workout program. I might mess around and slip and slide and slide to another link or some shit on my laptop. I'm like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm captivated by this possible porn, boom, 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 boom. Now I can get this dopamine rush. Say I'm stuck doing that for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Now I just knocked 2 hours out of my production time of me creating a great workout program. So it's like, yeah, I totally believe that, it could definitely mess with your level of productivity as a man. Also, just other things. Say you out and about, say you're enjoying time with friends, or say you chilling with some people, and you go to the bathroom, you on your phone, and you're like, oh, ooh, oh shit, ooh, ooh. Now you dipping and dabbing on some of these links, and now you're in the bathroom. Now you handling your business in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just things to think about. Now you can mess around and lively be in the bathroom for the next 30, 45 minutes, and your people, friends, like, yo, where Kev at? Where Tony at? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So yeah, I truly believe that porn can get in the way of that because it can be that alluring and that enjoyable, especially if you're just dipping and dabbing in different types of things that you like and switching it up and doing all that. So yeah, man, I totally agree with that, bro. Like I think it could really mess with a man's level of productivity, and if you don't have any control over your urge
Mm-hmm.
as a man.
Remember old school YouTube where you watching your video and they have that suggestion tab? Don't click on the suggestion tab.
Yes, yo. Even with porn, bro, like they be suggesting you all types of shit. As soon as you start, it's other stuff. Boom, bam, boom, boom. You got shit in the corner here, you got shit at the top, you got shit at the bottom, all types of shit to pull you in deeper and deeper and deeper.
I've never seen that
before. You're like, oh shit. Wait a minute. A midget with a third leg? Oh shit. All right, let me check this out. All right, I don't mean no harm about it, but you feel what I'm saying? Like it just be like this out of this world type of dopamine thing. And then another point I want to make too is like once you really get in the zone with it and you start getting used to it, now that's not enough. Now you need to take it to the next level. Now you might find yourself looking for more, erroneous, like, abominable type shit because the normal stuff really don't do it for you anymore. It's like a gateway.
Let's look at the pure escalation of porn. When it went from magazines to videos to internet, that easier access. It's just that escalation. Once you get to the rabbit holes of internet porn, there's no way you could go back to Playboy.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't even think about no damn magazine when you could literally see somebody getting piped down, you know what I'm saying, or literally see any type of woman that you want. Like, I feel like these young kids, man, they don't realize how good they got it with the internet and with Google. We ain't had that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tony, bro, we did not have that shit. We could not type in any type of specific woman all the way from the tip of her hair strand all the way down to the bottom of the sole of her feet. We could not search that shit,
Right.
And I mean, obviously with porn, it's more, I guess, better, but just in general, just in general, like, oh, okay. But I was saying, like, it may not necessarily be, better for the individual because they can get deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole. But, just in general, I mean, I don't think these kids realize how good they got it, man. Like, they could literally look up anything, any song, any book, any boom, bam, boom, and they literally have it at their fingertips. We did not have it when we were kids. So, if anything, that probably makes it more bad for some of these younger kids and younger men. I'm actually glad that I didn't have that type of access as a kid because, man, I was young as fuck, like watching porn. Like I was exposed to that shit very young, and it definitely and negatively impacted me, sexually. I can openly admit that shit. I was way too young watching, porn and all that stuff. But yeah. To come back to the main thing, I do believe that it can affect a man's productivity, especially these younger kids, teenagers, a little older, because they got the shit right on their phone, right on their laptop. Any given moment, they could just pippity poop, pippity pow. So, yeah, man. All right, we got some chats in the comment. I mean, we got some comments in the chat. I didn't mean to overlook y'all, man. We just digging deep into this. But we got Curious Millennial 90. All right. Says up Black Superman in the chat. Salute. He said porno addiction is very bad, especially what kind of pornos. I guess he mean like, what types of porn. It depends on what type of porn you're watching. That's a fact. He said, to me, porno is a fantasy and it is not a reality. That's a healthy way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? That's a healthy way to look at it because, some people and some guys obviously probably be watching and they probably like, nah, this real life and I'm gonna create this shit in my own life. And it's like, yo, porn is not real. It is an illusion. Just like most of the shit that we see online and social media. I mean, but porn is just to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? That's very illusionary. All the way down to angles, all the way down to how far they are, how close they are. Like, so, and we're going to dig a little deeper with some more points in the podcast. Okay, we got Sharon Constable back in the building. Hello, guys. How are you both?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Sharon? I'm doing good. What up? How you doing, Tony?
Oh, me? No, I'm just waving at Sharon.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, because she said, how was we both doing? But,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good, man. We good, man. Back in motion, Sharon, man. Glad to see you. You know what I'm saying? You back in the building. Salute. And then Curious Miller, he said, Millennial 90, he said, hello, Sharon. Awesome, y'all. Well, look, we're going to get back into it, guys. And I also want to let y'all know, too, going, from here on out, I'm going to make sure that I put a live chat link in the comments and in the chat. So if y'all have a personal question or a specific question or concern that y'all want to literally address yourself, you could actually hop on with us and let your statement, let your question or your concern be made known, and we'll respond and, let you know what we think. If y'all want advice, y'all could also tap in, and we'll be glad to both give our perspective on, the best advice we think we can give you in that sense. So the link is in the chat, y'all, if y'all do want to hop in and, make your statement or let your statement be made known. However you want to do it, however you want to go about it. But all right. So now we're going to move on to the next thing. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. Now, here's the question. Does porn desensitize you sexually? Does porn desensitize you sexually? What's your view on that, Tony?
I believe it can do that too. It's like the other side of the coin where we're talking about, we got to escalate the high, look into more specific fetishes and stuff. It's the other side where maybe you went down that rabbit hole, you've seen so much. Basic stuff don't do it for you anymore. So it possibly can. Just like when I said you can't go back to Playboy, basic stuff don't work for you anymore. And that could be a bad thing when it comes to your general relations with women. It really could. And I can see the threat of that where, you want to make these connections, but you've done watch so much damn porn and your expectations have taken to a whole nother level. It just can't do it for you. It's too, what's the word? Manila. It's too Manila for you.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, yeah. Like once you think about it, once you find something that you can, utilize for yourself and it can make you feel just as good, you'll start to get to a point where you're like, well, shoot, why do I even need to even bother, trying to get with somebody else to do it? Like, I truly believe that obviously when we're thinking about porn or any type of addiction, we're gonna automatically assume that masturbation is in the, in the situation here, obviously. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some people who are addicted to porn that don't masturbate. I mean, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that, but I had found that out not too long ago, where there are literally people, who just watch it. They don't masturbate, but they're still addicted and they still feel the need to watch it. That's gratifying enough for them. But, most people, obviously, they're masturbating. And I think that that's why it desensitizes you the most, because masturbation alone could potentially do that. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree. If you're overly doing it, especially if you're doing it a whole lot, like I'm talking about, chronically or on a regular basis, it could definitely desensitize you, physically. But I also think that even when you're at a state in a place where you're watching it, watching porn, you could watch, like I said earlier, it's kind of like build a bear. You could literally build a bitch, like on porn, man. You can literally build a bitch. They need to come up with a website where they call it www.buildabitch.com, because you can literally do it. I mean, that's
I think we got dolls out for that now.
Oh, like blow up dolls?
No, beyond blow up. We talk about dead ass jiggle synthetic dolls.
Oh, like kind of like real, like
Yeah,
close to
like
realistic dolls that you could.
close to real.
Wow.
I don't know what the specific name for them, but I've seen some via just different chats and whatnot. And I will admit, holy crap,
They look
it's
real.
real, man. Like you said, build a bitch. They already done it. They build bitches.
Yeah, I actually seen it though. I seen it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've come across different things, man. Just being on the internet, man, you will see all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a couple, and I was like, wow. I mean, they even got replicas of actual singers. You know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce, Rihanna. Like they be doing replicas and shit. Like different versions of the stars, but making them more busty and like bigger butt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, if we want to be technical, I mean, we could group it all in together. Um, yes, I think that all of that can desensitize you sexually, simply because I think we just get to this place where we become like very, very independent in that sense. It's like shit. Well, if I could just do things all by myself concerning this, I can get online. I can see whatever type of woman I want. I got this beautiful, realistic looking, synthetic fucking doll, whatever you want to call it, that I can do whatever I want. She ain't gonna say shit. She ain't gonna nag. She ain't gonna talk shit to me. She ain't gonna be talking about I don't need a man and I don't need to depend on a man. All this extra shit. I can just have fun with this doll as much as I want. As much as I want.
You won't get an argument out of me. You won't get an argument out of me on that one. I'm like,
I mean, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? To each his own. But for me, it's just something about a warm, wet vagina and a warm mouth. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just something about the real, bro. Like I just, but anyway. I even with myself, even with my own experiences, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like with masturbating, with watching porn, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all right now. So I can kind of open it up a little bit and be vulnerable. Like when I was very young, I was super addicted to porn. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was very young and I got, introduced to it at a very young age, a terribly young age. But once I got a little older and even a little more mature, like 12, 13, and I started getting a hold of porn, man, I used to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely went through some negative things because I chose to do that, and I got very addicted, and I would, masturbate very, very regularly. A lot of kids, when we're going through puberty or teenage years, a lot of us men, boys, we go through that stage. Come on, I mean,
correct.
Most guys do, but I still realized it was very unhealthy because I was doing it very frequently. But in a nutshell, it did desensitize me, and I think it even kind of messed with like my sexuality as a younger kid, because I was doing that a lot. I was watching porn a lot. So when I would actually, finally get around a girl, I'd be so anxious and so nervous concerning it because I'm like, oh shit, this is the real thing. Like, and I'm so used to doing this. And that would make me feel real anxious in these different situations and scenarios. And at a young age, I even was dealing with erectile dysfunction because I was masturbating so much. So, I say all of that to really, push this point. I have guys that literally hit me up because I do videos on this stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I've had guys hit me up and they're like, man, I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. My joint ain't getting hard, man. I don't know why. Or like I'm getting with women and I'm having trouble, getting erect or staying erect. And they're like, yo, I'm 26, I'm 27, I'm 25, I'm 33. And I'm like, bro, do you watch porn? Yep, yeah, I watch porn. I'm like, how often do you watch it? Shit, I watch it every day. I'm like, all right, now I ain't trying to get all in your personal business and nothing like that, man, but like how often are you masturbating when you're watching porn? And they're like, bro, I literally do it every time I watch porn. I'm like, all right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to stop. I know it ain't gonna be easy, but I want you to stop watching porn. I want you to stop masturbating just for 4 days. Just stop for about 3 or 4 days. Hit me back, try to have sex again and tell me what happens. And I promise you, most of the guys that I talked to about this literally seen a traumatic change immediately like that with their level of erections and staying erect with women by stopping porn, by not watching it or not even, and he also stopping masturbation. And I've even had a couple guys, they're like, man, I can't believe how much of a result I gained by just stopping masturbating and watching porn. I'm like, man, it's literally because you're getting so accustomed and you're adapting to masturbating and watching porn and seeing these women that look absolutely amazing. Of course, you're going to be like, when you finally get with a woman, it's going to be kind of like, what the fuck should I do? You know what I'm saying? So in a nutshell, I honestly can say I know for a fact it desensitizes you, because it definitely desensitized me. And I've had multiple men come to me asking me for help, and they stopped and they started to notice their sex drive was increasing more and their erections were more stronger and powerful. So it's something to think about, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Men, it's something to think about. If you guys are dealing with erectile dysfunction or not staying erect, it may not be that you got low testosterone. It may not even be that. You may just be overindulging watching porn, overindulging in masturbating, and that could definitely lower the quality of your sex drive, erections, all that shit. So something to think about, guys. All right. So now we got some comments in the chat, and guys, I'm definitely going to hit y'all comments. We're just going to go into the next point that we're going to talk about, which is a very big one. And I got my own personal story with this one, but I'm going to let Tony start it off, man. So comparing yourself to porn stars, comparing your manhood to porn stars' manhood, your piece, you know what I'm saying? How could this potentially be bad for men, and like, what's your perspective on it, Tony?
My perspective on that is something that, especially if you're young and we dabble into porn, it's a typical thing. It's something that it's a rabbit hole that you go down, and it's something that you got to realize this is fantasy for the most part. Okay, and these men are on drugs, they're enhanced, and it's this way, putting this unrealistic expectation in your head. So it automatically makes you feel like, as a man yourself, you're not enhanced, but you're not enhanced, but it's like, this is real. I'm pretending this is real. Like, oh, I ain't shit compared to this thing piping down. And it makes you feel inadequate as a male. And that's something that you got to realize, this is fantasy, and don't let that attack your self-esteem. And unfortunately, this is a societal thing that is affecting men. We have the expectation to perform, whether that be work, sex, relations. We have that expectation to perform, and that unfortunately is something that stabs directly at that, because it's like, how can I compete with this? And you see right there how that just can stab at a young, impressionable man's self-esteem, drive, and willpower to even pursue anything. So you just have to realize this is fantasy, and you have to have the self-esteem and the awareness to be like, you're okay yourself, and when it comes to women, you just got to learn how to do your own sex game with your own practice, rather than worrying about, I'm not saying don't do it 100%, but I am saying to worry about pleasing a woman so damn much. You can't do, that's not our burden when it comes to sex, to be honest. It's a woman's job. It's a woman's job to please us, because they need our resources. Let's just be honest. And to put that expectation on us, because women right now, they do have the sexual liberation, the sexual freedom, and all of a sudden, it's they want to play and have fun and get piped down by the Pookies and Ray Rays, the Chaz and Tyrones. But then they want to expect those long-term resources. So, and then it's a double standard where, have you heard this before by women? They say men need to learn how to keep in their pants. They need to stop thinking with their dick. So you hear that from women, but look at what women do. They end up being single mothers out the wazoo, because they think with their vagina. They just want to have fun. And then when they have fun, it's okay for them to abort their babies because they want to have fun. They don't just avoid the accountability. So that's why men need to learn. And I'm glad we're having shows like this. We have to stop taking on the burdens of women. Those burdens are not our concern. We're expected to provide and protect. Sex is supposed to be a reward for that. But we have to understand, with that being said, in these modern times, we don't have to even accept that as an option, as in, like, whatever. I still got my castle. I'm building my castle, building my kingdom. And if a woman doesn't want to do her role, do her part, I'll be okay without you. That's the part they don't want you to hear. Okay, last note. I believe that's another part why masturbation is demonized, because, like you were saying earlier, well, if I got this easier option here, why would I want to listen to a woman run her mouth just to try to get my rocks off? I can do it myself. Guess what? I fit that boat. If I got because under the burden of expectation of I got to jump through all these hoops for women, because I'm that guy. I'm the relationship fitted guy, the Poindexter. So I'm under all these expectations here just to try to get my dick wet. But then I'm like, if I just handle my business myself, I don't got to worry about this. So it's to bring it back to the comparison thing, it's the burden of expectation. And you have to realize that if you're looking at porn, this is reality. Get your rocks off and go. Don't get hooked on it. Don't compare yourself to it, because in real life, it's not going to be the same.
Man, well said, bro. Well said on that, man. I totally agree, like, with most of what you were saying. And, like, yeah, comparison, I'm going to rewind all the way to the beginning of what you were saying. Like, comparing yourself to a porn star is so nonsensical and irrational. And the reason why I'm going to say it's very nonsensical is because it's on a camera. Like, in reality, things look and appear way different than on camera. I mean, there's similarities, obviously, it is what it is. But when you get that camera, all you got to do is hit a different angle. You turn a camera from a different angle and things appear way differently than what they really are. Point blank, period. If you bring a camera closer to a penis, it's going to look bigger, period. You bring that camera, say you got a chick, and you bring that camera right low right by the ass, and kind of turn the camera up, that ass is going to look big as hell because it's coming from a lower angle. That's why I always know online when I'm looking at a chick who don't really got no big ass in real life, because they always got the camera angled at a lower region. That's when you know a chick ain't got no fat ass, she just fret. She had a damn camera coming from the low part, trying to get that lower part of the ass. It's like, nah, you capping. If you see a chick, if you look online and you see a chick with her ass and she got the camera up here and she looking at her ass, oh, that's a big ass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because you're coming from a more upper region. So
the other angle where this is one for the heavyweight chicks. They always try to do the camera upward and make sure you look at their cleavage.
yeah.
And it's always in their face and cleavage, because you're hiding the rest of it. I get it.
Yeah, just face and tits. That's all. Face and tits. They had a camera right up here, face and tits. Like, what the hell? Where everything else at? I don't see no belly. I don't see no ass. No nothing. Okay, professionally hiding that shit. That's why we don't see it.
I bet.
But in real, in reality, guys, like, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to compare yourself to a porn star. But me personally, I just put a video up. I'm a perfect and prime example of, for one, why kids shouldn't be watching porn, but also why you shouldn't compare yourself to porn stars. Put a video up how I was talking about how for years I thought that I had a small dick, Like, I thought I had a small penis, right? For a long time, from when I was a kid coming up. And honestly, originally, the reason why that started was because I was exposed to porn at a very young age. I'm talking like 5, 6, I was at a babysitter's house. Yeah, bro, it's that's what I'm saying. I done been through a lot of shit there, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm still alive. I'm still pushing. Glory to God, man. He helped me through it all. That's what I believe. But, I was like 5 or 6, man. I was exposed to porn. And while I was watching it, I was so confused, obviously, because I'm young. But then when I started looking, I'm like, okay, well, that's a dick, clearly, because I have one of those, and I was comparing myself immediately. Like, I immediately was comparing myself. And obviously, if I'm a 5 or 6-year-old and I'm comparing myself to a grown porn star, that planted that in my brain. Especially as I got older, and obviously you hear women talk about big dick, I want a big dick, blah, 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 blah. push come to shove, fast forward to the future, I obviously found out that I was actually packing pretty well as a man. You know what I'm saying? I had women tell me, let me know. So that was good. You know what I'm saying? But it just caused me to act a lot of ways, feel anxious, feel nervous, and the whole, I need to perform thing. That took that even more to a whole nother level because I'm like, well, shit, my joint might not be big enough, and I got to perform. So, it's a number of things, and it's a lot of pressure that some men could put on themselves when it comes to sex. When sex is really something that you want to enjoy, it's really something for men and women to enjoy, right? We can go to the complete origin and full purpose of it, which is obviously to reproduce. But I'm just saying, like, it is a very highly pleasurable thing, and it's very enjoyable. In my personal opinion, I think it's something for men and women to enjoy. I also believe that when it comes to sex, we shouldn't go in it with the mind frame like you were saying, like, oh, I need to please this woman. I need to please her better than ever. There's nothing wrong with wanting to please a woman and just wanting to, connect. But if that is your main thing and you just focusing on, if I please her, I'm successful. If I don't please her, I'm a failure. That's terrible. That's terrible because there's so much more to you on so many different facets and levels as a human being and a man. Sex is not the value, you know what I'm saying? Like as a man, that shouldn't be something that you want to be your main value as a man. Women shouldn't either. And I think that's the biggest issue that comes with that. So,
I deal with a lot of the men I talk to right now, and they clearly say these concerns. It's like, you gotta make a woman happy, gotta make a woman happy, gotta do the sex thing, gotta do all this. And I'm over here like, and then look at you. You're still lonely. You're tolerating cheating wives. You're over here still complaining about the time that you don't have with your wife or your kids. But you're so dead set on that rather than focusing on these other issues.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? You got all that going on, but and at the end of the day, like a lot of people feel like that too. Like a lot of men probably deal with that simply because of it always starts with the childhood. Y'all always hear me talk about that. It does. I'm telling you. A lot of our issues stem from childhood. So like there may be a reason why the men may feel like they have to perform. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know, maybe that was a part of how they received validation as a kid. Maybe that's what they connected to validation. If I perform, people will validate and accept me. Then it comes to, damn, now you fucking women for acceptance. That's even, now that's even more of a crippling position. So it's like, yeah, it should never be based on it. We should never be like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to perform. There's nothing wrong with thinking in your mind like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make my girl squirt or some shit like that. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like
this is family network.
Yeah, you're right. I know. I'm taking it to the next level. But no, we all men. If you're too young, you gotta dodge. You know what I'm saying? But no, in all honesty, I mean, there's nothing wrong with pleasing a woman or even wanting to, but it should not be your main purpose in terms of your connection and your interaction with that. You need to be making sure that you getting pleased, motherfucker. Like, make sure is she taking care of you? Like, are you getting pleased well? Is she pleasing you well? You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-sided thing. It's not all on you as a man to please the woman. You know what I'm saying? And that means you succeeded. Like, no, you need to succeed for yourself. Make sure she's pleasing you. And if not, then that's just a clear indication that y'all are just not sexually compatible. That's all that is. It don't mean that you're lesser of a man, or it don't mean that she's lesser of a woman. Y'all just may not be sexually compatible. There may be reasons and blockings or blockages as to why y'all can't open up with each other and explore things and really communicate your needs. You know what I'm saying? So in a nutshell, we kind of went off subject a little bit, but to bring it back home, yeah, we should never be looking at porn and comparing ourselves to it. That can have psychological issues, emotional issues, self-image issues. Then you start looking at yourself, you start judging yourself, you start feeling self-conscious and shit. Yeah, we men, y'all. We men. We can't be walking around like that. You know what I'm saying? Not to judge anybody or any men who are feeling that way. You can get help. You can grow from it. You can heal, bro. Trust me, I done been there and done that. But I'm just saying, as men, we shouldn't be walking around like that. We shouldn't be being people pleasers and shit, or trying to, make it our main focus to please somebody. Shouldn't be comparing ourselves to other men, porn, or any of that shit. So, yeah, I think that that's very detrimental to the psyche when it comes to porn. Because a lot of us, you know, you may slip and do it. You may just kind of think for a second, like, damn, you know, am I that big? Or like, you know, boom, boom. It's not conducive to a healthy psyche if you are going to watch porn. So if you're doing it, just stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't even do it, man. All right. So now I'm going to go over some of these comments real quick because I know we are kind of slipping and sliding through that information. But this is good, man. I'm glad. I already seen one comment on here. I'm going to go ahead and skip to his real quick because he can't handle the realness. He can't handle the truth and the realness. So, of course, he's going to want to leave. Enrique Soto, he said, all right, he said, I'm out. This is cringe, but I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. OMG. Man, go ahead, deuces, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, he got the deuce in his profile pic. Yeah, deuces, man. You sound like a little, you know, I ain't going to talk. I'm not going to talk to you. But, you know, if a man can't handle real shit, real talk, man, get the fuck out of here, man. We ain't got time for y'all softies. You know what I'm saying? We keep it at 100 on here. If you can't handle that, get out of Dodge.
If you didn't make your entrance known, why are you making your exit known? Just leave.
Bingo. That sounds like something a female would do. You know what I'm saying? Say something, cat, and then leave. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. All right. But, you know, I don't take any offense by it. It's just sometimes it just be funny. It's kind of annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that motherfucker that just keep coming with some irritation. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like a fly. Like, get out of here, man. All right, here's another one. So he said, porn not bad for you. Social media is what's bad for you. Because everyone you see now think they actors or something that stars on social media.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Social media, a lot of people do get, like we're talking about the dopamine, and getting that attention does trigger that in a lot of people. Getting that extra attention, the likes, the clicks, the views, and all that bunch of blah, blah, blah. And it's also so much of a normal thing within our society, as in just, you know, being on social media, doing these videos and whatnot. One can get addicted to the illusion that this kind of creates.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do think that that's very unhealthy as well, social media, especially if you're, you know, we go back to the comparison thing. If you're looking at people who are presenting on what they're presenting on social media and you're comparing your life to it, it's like, yo, do you understand you are only seeing little baby, literally little minutes worth or a minute or even seconds of their life. You can't compare your whole life to this motherfucker's highlight. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a great moment. I'm gonna shoot it. Can't be comparing your life to that. So yeah, in that sense, I think it's very unhealthy. I don't think that social media is bad. I think that there's pros and cons to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the business world, especially in terms of communication, marketing. There's pros to social media, but obviously, yeah, there are some damn cons. And it's just like porn. It's just like porn. If you're addicted to social media, if you're addicted to scrolling, if you're addicted to, if it's cutting in your productivity, your time, and your life, and you're too busy on social media that you can't even enjoy your wife, your children, your friends, your family, then obviously, yeah, it's gonna be bad. But I feel where you're coming from, easy money. I think that's how you pronounce it. All right, Curious Millennial 90, he says, sometimes porno can awaken some of the fantasies you never would have thought of. That's a good point.
It's true.
I agree with that. Yeah, here's my thing real quick, like especially with like masturbation and shit, right? You know, I think that masturbation is a way to really get to understand and know yourself sexually. You know what I'm saying? As a man, whether, you know, and women too, but I think that that's a real good way to get to know yourself sexually and to even build a relationship with yourself concerning sex and making it healthy. Because then you can understand and establish your needs sexually. You know what I'm saying? You can understand yourself better sexually. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, obviously, but anything can become unhealthy if it becomes an addiction, if it becomes an obsession. Like that's when it's like,
we have to learn, we have to relearn. There's a time and a place for everything. And we have to have that self-discipline to recognize when is it time for me, the individual, to get a little kinky and when it's inappropriate. Put that one
Facts,
back.
100%.
Yeah.
Like structure, you know what I'm saying? Structure.
Good word.
That, for me, you know, and even as a man, I realize that's something that I have to highly step up and like really get 100% on point. Because, you know, when we lack structure, man, things just kind of go haywire, man, easily. All right, so we got another one. All right, Sean. Oh, shit. Sean said, massage parlor with happy endings are addictive too after I got away from porn. Oh, man. Woo! So, man, I done been there and done that, man. And I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, man, that's, you know, I mean, you know, even sex can become addictive. You know what I'm saying? Even sex can become addictive. I mean, I'm not gonna say that you know, I was like addicted to going to massage parlors for happy endings, but I mean, I've had it happen. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced that before. And thankfully, I hurried up and was like, all right, bet I ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to, rather. But yeah, I mean, it's good that you stepped away from you know, the porn and all that too. But yeah, I mean, that could be another thing that could turn into a new one. That's stepping it up. That's taking it to another level now. But you paying for it now, so it's like, whoa.
And shoot, there's people who go into major credit card debts to get their fix on a lot of things too. So that could be one of them.
Yeah, man, and like addiction, man, like it don't really matter. I mean, addiction can turn into you can really become addicted to anything. Addiction, in my personal opinion, is a spirit. You know what I'm saying? I look at addiction as like a negative spirit, because once it gets a hold of you and you start to really walk in that, that's leading your life now. Like that's literally leading your life. All types of other shit start, you know, dropping out the picture. It's like fuck everything else. Like this addiction, this is I gotta have this, and I need to have it on a regular. All right, Curious Millennial 90 said they get tired of that and upgrade to the hardcore stuff. Facts, big facts.
Address that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just like anything else. Drugs, all that, porn, all that. So it's definitely something to consider, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's a real thing and it's serious. It's something to keep in mind and even to like jump on if you realize you may be doing this and dealing with this too. That could be a sign. You know, that could be a sign that you may be addicted. All right. So now we're gonna move on to another topic concerning it. And it's funny, we've already kind of touched on this, but we can kind of dig a little deeper with our personal perspectives. But you know, what is it? Erectile dysfunction from overwatching porn. Erectile dysfunction from overwatching porn. What's your view on this, Tony?
I believe it's a possibility because looking at that hyped up dopamine, the rabbit hole of different imagery, upgrading to the next one, then you get to a point where it's like nothing excites you anymore. I believe that is a possibility.
Yeah. Man, I know for a fact it is, man. Like I said, I experienced it. So, like, especially if you're overdoing it, you know what I'm saying? Like you're overwatching and masturbating and like overly doing it. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, we're literally human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get to that point where you just, all right, the best way I can put it in, and this may be cringeworthy for some of you soft dudes out there, but you know, when you masturbate and you do it consecutively, a number of things start to happen. You know what I'm saying? You may not have as much drive to do it again because that's how we are as men. You know what I'm saying? Once we let go, you know, let our rocks off a certain amount of time, you know, it starts to get less and less sensitive. It starts to get less and less pleasurable. So that's something to think about as well. You know, if that's the concept concerning it, it would make sense. If you're doing that every single day or most of the days, and you're doing it multiple times a day, of course, it's going to lower the level of sexual sensitivity that you experience when doing it. I don't care what you're watching. You could be watching the most exclusive porn in the world. If you done masturbated 7 times already, and you try to go back for that 8th time, you probably ain't even gonna be like erected for that. Like you probably ain't even gonna be able to really do it. So I mean, it's really something to think about. I do think that that definitely will cause erectile dysfunction. Like I said, I got multiple men because most of my content is men's health. So I do cringy videos where I'm talking about these specific things. I do that shit on purpose. I do that for my fellow brothers out there because I needed somebody to talk to. When I was going through that shit, but I couldn't because I felt like, oh man, niggas gonna clown me. People gonna talk junk about me. They gonna laugh at me. When really, I really needed somebody to talk to and rap with to know if other men was going through it too. So that's one of the main reasons why I do this on my channel. I try to make sure that I utilize my platform to speak on the things that other men ain't gonna speak on because it's cringy.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
it's part of that thing about the performance of men. We're expected not to be weak and all this bunch of stuff. And it's not about not being weak, but it's to have a better understanding, even against the taboo subjects that we're not supposed to talk about. But men are expected to suffer in silence. We're expected to do that. And that's why, yes, I'm glad to be part of this because I try to have these conversations with some dudes and I get the little cringy response as in, oh, we can't do this, but yet you always come back with problems. You don't want to have the conversation to get you to a better point. Yeah, I'm trying to help.
And that's the thing. Like, for me, it really highlights society and how society has a lot to do with this and how I think it's a part of dividing us even more as people. You know what I'm saying? If we keep thinking that normal things are crazy, what's going to happen? Eventually, we're all going to be thinking that we're fucking crazy. And then if we can't talk to somebody else who's experienced the same, like, I don't know about you, Tony, but for me, I feel the most fulfilled when, I could talk to somebody and they could relate to what it is I'm experiencing. Like, that's when I feel more comfortable in whatever it is that I'm experiencing. But if I feel kind of like outcasted or like nobody can relate to what I'm feeling, that shit is an imprisonment. Because it's like, damn, I'm going through this, and you mean to tell me ain't nobody else going through this shit? Then that'll make me think something's wrong with me.
And I try to, like I said, I try to have these discussions with other men, and it seems to be a trend though. When they want to clown and do all that bullshit when we're around other men, but when we're by ourselves, who's the one they come talking to? Hey Tony, what do you think about this? Oh no shit. But what happened to all that clowning energy? Okay. But there I go, actually caring because these people do come to me in a sincere tone. So I'll converse back with them, but then they go back to the clowning. I'm starting to write you off because I need to worry about my mental health. I'm not gonna let you pull back and forth on me like that. I'm not your therapy puppet.
Yeah, but you know what I think in hearing that example, you know what I think happens? I think what happens is even in that moment of joking, they actually get a slight experience of the actual positivity and the benefit of actually speaking on these things. So that's what probably brings them back to you. Because even though they didn't say it, 9 times out of 10, if you're the one who's talking and you got 2 or 3 people laughing and joking about the shit, they feel like they have to kind of fit in with them. But when they get with themselves and they think about it, they're like, well, you know what? It actually felt kind of good to actually kind of hear that from another man. Let me go talk to him. Because I've had that happen, bro. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, you want to come talk to me? But you was the same nigga that was laughing with them. But now you want to talk about it. And I started to realize what it is they just don't feel comfortable around them other dudes or those other people in the moment. And at the end of the day, this is why I focus on what I focus on my channel, because I want to encourage men to get out of this fucking shell. Like feeling like you have to be fucking like reserved mentally and emotionally, or like, because it's stopping us men from healing. Just like you said earlier, bro, when you said, what did you just said it, man, it was a good point. You said they expect for men to
suffer in silence. Suffer in silence.
Yes. Suffer in silence. That's why I think a lot of men end up going postal, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men end up going postal because they're like, oh, I'm expected to deal with all this shit inside. It's called, the best way I can put it is it's called implosion. It's like a mental and emotional implosion. And I started to realize, I'm like, all right, bet. So the more and more I keep holding shit in, the more and more I keep like bottling shit up inside of me, I end up exploding. And then I look crazy as fuck.
Guilty. Guilty.
And then everybody's looking at me like, oh, he's the crazy guy. He's the bad guy. And it's like, no, nah. I have reasons as to why I feel the way that I feel. But at the end of the day, it is our own responsibility to not implode or to not like bottle it up. So I started realizing being vulnerable actually helps me heal. Once I figured that shit out, that's when I started opening up more on social media, on my YouTube channels, and with people, like with other people in my life. Because I started realizing it's like, okay, if I keep it 100 and be real and be vulnerable with people, that actually frees me. If I feel like I can't do that and I hold it in, or I'm afraid of what motherfuckers are going to think about me, that imprisons me and it traps me now. So now I can't live in my truth now because everybody else is like, oh, you shouldn't talk about that. Man, fuck that. If I keep holding shit in, that's hurting me. And that's what a lot of us end up doing. And that's why even porn addiction and all the stuff that we're talking about, that's why it affects us so much, especially as men.
Mm-hmm.
Because as men, we're meant to live in our truth. It's a part of masculinity. Like, we're built for that shit. So when we start stepping away from it, and negative things come from that. You know? All right, so we got some more questions. Let me see. We got another chat from Sean. Sean said, he said, you think there's women out there that would help us men with this struggle that can't perform well due to pride to overcome it? Okay, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not familiar with pride. Do you know what that is, Tony?
No, sir, I don't.
All right, so I'm gonna look at it real quick because it looks familiar to me. Like I feel like I've seen that before. I know it might even be something that women deal with. Is it Yo, Sean, hopefully you still here, bro, because I'm gonna answer this question, bro. I think it might be something that women deal with. Let me reread it though. He said, you think there's women out there that would porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Okay. That's right. That's what I knew. It sounded familiar. Porn-induced erectile dysfunction. And that is actually the term that they came up with. Like, a lot of research was done at one point. They started realizing this is a real thing. So yeah. So that's a good one. I'm gonna read it again though. He said, you think there's women out there that would help us men with this struggle that can't perform well due to porn-induced erectile dysfunction, overcome it? Hell yeah. Yes. Bro, let me tell you something. And this is what I like to say in my videos. You can go back on my channel. You can check out some of my older videos. Like, I talk about it in a couple of those vids. And if you're with a woman who's really going to be for you and who's going to ride for you and love you for who you are as a man, as a person, you damn right they're going to help you with it because they actually love you. And they're not literally being with you just because of what you can give them sexually. They actually appreciate you as a spirit and a man and a soul. So, when you find that woman and you have that woman, yeah, they'll be willing to work with you, be there for you, support you in dealing with it and also helping you overcome it. I truly believe that, like I said earlier, I was going through erectile dysfunction at an early age. And I actually was blessed to...
You okay? Oh. He went out. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick up the slack here. Women helping with that. I believe, yes, on his point, where there probably can be the woman who loves you and all that good stuff to probably work with you through the process. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe that could be a market. Maybe there could be a market of women getting trained or putting in that much attention to help these men who have ED issues. I think that might be a suitable market because ED, erectile dysfunction, is a concern amongst men. And if there are women who are trained to help men in that area, I think that might be an interesting market. So ladies, look into that. I don't know. All righty. I want to talk a little bit about my, I guess, porn addiction back in the day. I don't really think my porn encounters was anything like super crazy, super crazy. I'm not trying to call people crazy because this is a dopamine issue. We don't know how our brains are going to react. But I do remember this one particular time where I started venturing with masturbation, and I was in high school. I got into like this altercation with this other guy, this other kid, and kid stuff. So just bear with me on that. And it was just such an infuriating thing that when I left the classroom, just stormed off to the bathroom. I don't know why, but I thought, yeah, masturbation was going to calm me down. So, I'm handling myself very vigorously at that time. And I don't know if it did calm me down, but I don't know why I jumped to that being a solution to calm me down. I'm sorry. That was just a weirdo moment in my book. What else? Um, that's all I got. I hope you didn't drag down on this, because I'll admit on this whole porn addiction, I really don't have too much of that, other than I see it as a reasonable option to not have to deal with women and the societal pressures of always, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah blah blah. I'm the one who is not going to let the promise of vitamin P be the carrot dangling in front of me and expecting me to jump through hoops and do tricks and turns for females validation. Wait. You expect me to follow this? I may get it, I may not. Going through all these hoops when I can just freaking turn on some porn, beat it like a champ, take a nap, and continue with the rest of my day. So I'm not going to talk crap about people who choose porn for that option. And I am so sorry because Kevin's not here, and I'm trying to keep this going, but the subject matter is kind of stale at this point. Do 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 do. All right, how about this? Patty cake, patty cake. No, we ain't gonna do that. Let me see. Another time, let's tell you a little story about how I got the nickname Magnum. It has to do with condoms. Because I once upon a time back in Japan, I bought some condoms because better to have it and not need it, need it not have it. So when I go up to the cashier, I'm just buying the condoms. I'm thinking normal stuff, but the female cashier tries to bring attention to it to another one. Oh, what these magnums do and stuff like that. I'm like, would you stop? Just put the stuff in the bag. But then she gives me a little slide eye. So, I got the condoms. I bought them in Japan. Fast forward to my new unit, and my condom pack, I still had it in my little hygiene bag when I was still in the Marine Corps. And I walk out, I do something else. One of my roommates happened to see the condoms, and he's like, "What are you doing with these Magnum condoms? You don't go out there in the bars chasing women. What are you doing?" I just hit him with the line. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So later on, it just became the nickname Magnum. I decided to keep that because it kind of sounds like a pro wrestler name, Tony Magnum, WWE. Hey, I got body slam the Rock if you really want me to. I could be a jobber. Okay. We're right there. I do apologize for this because I have no material with me to actually bounce anything off on. Trying to give him that chance, Kevin. Nope. I don't want dead air either. So I wish I could pull up somebody. Let me read this comment again. I can still see that. You think there's women out there to help? We already discussed that, so I don't want to be the dead horse. Well, let's talk about the cringe nature of these topics. Men, society keeps beating us down, thinking that we're supposed to be the drones and just perform, crack the whip on us, if you will, and tell us to keep on doing these things just to keep building this nation, protect this nation, whatever nation you may be in, but you're expected to do that. Wow. And all in the sake of female validation. We have to wake up and realize that I know that we're generations deep in single mother homes and trying to put pussy on a pedestal. We cannot do this to ourselves. These conversations are to basically worrying about men's mental health. Excuse me. Men's mental health, because society really doesn't give a fuck about men because we're just expected to be men. Then the turnaround point, because we're raising these single mother homes, no one's actually raising these men to be men, because mommy spread her legs for Tyrone, and here come you. Now you are end up emulating mommy's little tactics. Oh, it's a sad story. I'm sure we'll probably get into more of that later. Let me see. Let me try to do another story, maybe porn related. Okay, type of magazine I remember coming across. It was me and my boys. I don't know, according to them, they found a stash of porn in plastic bag, not plastic bag, paper bag. And it was like, oh wow, really? So here I am, not really looking at the situation with a cringe mindset. It's, oh, that porn, let me jump on there, you know what I'm saying? And so they let me borrow a magazine. It was, what's the one? Hustler. And I do remember this comment panel. We're not going to go into too many details, but let's just say, I'm sorry, let me wrap this up. Let's just say it was two hookers basically getting some presents by Santa Claus. That's as PC I'm going to make it. Kevin, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm back, bro. Listen, I apologize for that, man. I super apologize for that. I gotta get another darn charger, man, on my laptop. This thing has been bugging out. This has happened actually probably about 2 other times. But yeah, man. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that, bro. But I was listening in. I had my phone up, so because it was taking a while. But you held it down, though, man. That's lit. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm gonna touch back on what I was talking about earlier, though. So my man, he pretty much was talking about finding a woman, and he was like, yo, can I find a woman that, or can we find a woman that'll help us, while we're going through porn-induced erectile dysfunction and all that. And I'm like, yeah, you can find a woman who, will definitely do that if she sticks by you, loves you, supports you, and values you for who you are as an individual, not just what you can do for her sexually. You know what I'm saying? This will actually be a good way to see if you're with a woman who really does love you for you or value you for you. I'm telling you right now, women, they are very, very in particular when it comes to who they really want and who they love. They will go through fucking hurricanes, tornadoes for that man if they really want that man and love that man. So yeah, I honestly, truly believe that, yeah, man, there's plenty of women out there that'll love you and support you through that and even help and try to figure out, what can I do that would help. So like I was saying earlier, when I went through porn-induced erectile dysfunction at a younger age, and even somewhat at the point when I was becoming more sexually active, and the chicks that I had these experiences with, where say my joint wasn't staying hard or whatever the case is, they were real supportive. I never had a chick that was just like, oh, your dick ain't getting hard, man. Oh, fuck you, I'm about to go, mess with the next man or get out of here. It was never that type of vibe. And I truly believe that it was because they rocked with who I was as a person. They rocked with me. They appreciated me, and they rocked with me. So, as long as you're you and you're being you with these women, and they respect you, they rock with you and really like you or love you, shouldn't have nothing to worry about. If the chicks they acting funny and they want to clown you for it, man, let them chicks go. Let them go about their business. Fuck them hoes. Excuse me, I know I'm pretty vulgar, but yo, forget them. Like, because they ain't really for you, man. All they worried about is getting dick, and you don't want no chick like that, bro. Straight up. And he said, Sean, he said, or don't talk to women until I'm completely healed from porn-induced erectile dysfunction on my own. That's a choice for you, man. That's a personal choice for you. You know what I'm saying? If you would feel more comfortable to not try to, have a relationship with a chick while going through this, or if you want to kind of like omit or avoid having that awkward experience where, you try and get it in and your joint ain't getting hard, then yeah, you may want to kind of wait until you deal with that. But I honestly believe that, how are you really going to know if you're doing better, if you don't have somebody that you could actually test the waters with, you know. So to each his own, bro. That's a choice you got to come up with and figure out what you want to do. What you think about that, Tony?
This is more of a question for you, sir. Is Viagra not a suitable option for ED?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not recommend Viagra. I don't. I only recommend someone would try Viagra if they are like, you know, older, and they literally, you know, have low testosterone. Like they know for a fact that their testosterone is very low, and you know that's the reason for it. Even in that case, I probably still wouldn't say Viagra. I'd be like, yo, you may need to, you know, get some, you know, hormone replacement therapy. You know what I'm saying? You may want to look into that. You know what I'm saying? Because Viagra, man, it gives you the benefit of erections and things like that, but it's really not the safest, and it's not good for your heart at all. There's natural options out there that I highly recommend, and even Maximal Libido, Superhuman Labs. Let's go. You know, Maximal Libido is powerful. Virility is powerful. And there's also other powerful things like Tonkat Ali, which is in Maximal Libido, and Long Jack, which is actually another form of Tonkat Ali. That's in Virility as well. So I always try to tell people to stay away from the drugs, you know what I'm saying, as much as possible. You know, men, try herbs. Try these powerful herbs that's going to boost your testosterone. I talk about it on my channel. Y'all can check out all my videos on it. Go in that direction. Always look. What my shirt say? What this say right here, y'all? Herbs over steroids. This is the movement. There's people that are dying from abusing steroids, man. This is a real thing. This is a serious movement. If you guys are interested in copping the shirts, tanks, sweatsuits, fasttrainheal.com. Fasttrainheal, Heal, Hill.com, guys. You can get whatever you want, the suits, tanks, all of that, guys. Again, please no. Okay. We good. So yeah, you know, get that, guys. Definitely, man. You can get the tanks, shirts, and all that, man. It's a real movement, but try to stay away from drugs, man, and steroids if you don't need it, man, for sure. All right, so we got, let's see, the big, what is it? The big, oh shit. My man name on here is the Big Dick Dangler. Oh man, all right. So he said, kick porn cold turkey and wait. You'll get horny enough to spit mad game and get the woman you want, believe me. Nah, that's a fact though. That's real. That's real talk, man. I truly believe that, man, because, you know, porn, it really is a fantasy, but in all actuality, it's an illusion. And it takes your mind and your psychological foundation to a very artificial place. Like you ain't hitting them girls, you're not having physical sex with those girls, you're not experiencing what you could be experiencing if you was having sex with them in real life. So it's very artificial. And I think that plays tricks on the psyche. I also think that that's why, you know, men tend to become more sexually desensitized from watching so much porn. It's because your mind is now becoming connected to your device or to whatever it is that you're watching this porn on. Your psychological state is literally becoming connected to an inanimate object. And it really does something to the psyche. It really makes you very, very out of touch of reality in a lot of ways. It's a deep thing, man. It's real deep. So once you start stepping away from that, you become more in tune to reality. You start to notice that you probably feel more confident around the opposite sex. You start feeling more energy, more than likely. You know, confidence, better energy in the gym, just feeling more stronger. It's a number of things, man. We'll probably do another episode and podcast on that too. Okay, yeah, that's when he was telling us about porn-induced. Okay. All right, cool beans. All right, so yeah. But, you know, that's a real thing, man. It's definitely a real thing, and I think it's something to think about. Guys, if you notice that you watch a lot of porn and you masturbate a lot, and you're having issues with erectile dysfunction, you could be dealing with porn-induced erectile dysfunction. So it's a real thing. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next topic, man. And this one I think is very important. It's something to think about. Obviously, all men may not deal with it, but it's something to think about. But dealing with feeling ashamed about watching porn and masturbating, right? So I'm gonna start this one off. So like, back when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Back when we was younger, Tony, because I'm 30, we both 34. It was definitely a taboo, and it was definitely something that you would get clowned about if you was beaten off. Like that was the way to joke on niggas. That was the way to like talk shit to dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you be playing with Pamela, and like you be having sex with Pamela, meaning like the palm of your hand, and all this stuff. Like it was definitely a taboo to be beaten off. So like, especially from our era and shit. I mean, I see how shame could be attached to that, just off of that, for one. Because you already, that's already kind of the joke, or that's already kind of the thing where you can get clowned for. But on top of it, I think even like connections, like say with your mom, or like, who you live with, like if you beating off in the house, you don't want your mom to know that, you know what I'm saying? That's something that if your mom knew you was doing it or caught you doing it, that's something you could potentially get in trouble for. At least that's how I looked at it. So like, especially porn. Oh, there ain't no question. I would have definitely got my ass whooped for some shit like that, watching porn and some shit. So, with that being said, there's a lot of shame that comes with that, and guilt as well. That's why, a lot of us, I can't speak for all men, but like when I was younger, I try to pick the right times to do it. And obviously it'd be a time when my mom was gone, or like maybe she was asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like just finding these times where I could potentially do it and not get caught. So that's attaching negative feelings and even low vibrations to pleasing yourself sexually. You got to think about it. I mean, that's guilt, potentially even shame. These are low vibrations. And I mean, yeah, think about it. I mean, that could make you feel a bit shameful. If you just definitely let one go, you know what I'm saying? And your mom come home. You literally was watching porn or doing it right when she pull up. And now you got to be, oh shit, let me stop. And you try to get shit situated. Like, of course there could be some guilt attached to that. And guilt and shame they like brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Those emotions and those vibrations are very low, and they're connected to each other in a way. They're like right there. I feel like that's the negative shit that can be attached to your sexuality in a lot of ways. And it's obviously unhealthy. It's obviously unhealthy. So yeah, I think that the more you do that, and the more, especially if your mind is in that place, if you feel any type of shame, any type of guilt, yeah, that can come from that. It will make total sense. I mean, I went through the shit, I dealt with it. So, I know what that feels like. What do you think about that, Tony, with feeling shame, with masturbating or watching porn and things like that?
I think a lot of the shame, because I'm glad you brought up this point, because I was feeling this on the subject. The shame of masturbating is, I think it has to do with you're masturbating because you can't get women. I think that's the direct mindset of, oh, you're masturbating because you can't get a woman. Ha ha ha. And it is really messed up, because a lot of, again, back to our society, we have weaponized men's sexual nature so much. Either being lured by vitamin P, or you're being dominated by vitamin P. And and that's part of it. Oh, well, since I can't get vitamin P, let me go ahead and try to sneak a nut off my sack. Ah, look what you gotta do. And it's so fucked. It is, man. And then there's some men out there who are, not to bash on men too much, but there are some men out there who are socially awkward. They don't have game. They don't have a lot of charisma and stuff like that. And then we just automatically going to bash them on the fact that they are unable to please a woman. They can't make a woman happy. Or whatever. I get a lot of shit talking on me, and it's a lot of the shit talking based on me is superficial, and it's all based on female validation. And it's like these are low hanging fruit right here on these insults. Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm ugly. I ain't got no game, corny, all that bullshit. Low hanging fruit based on female validation. And the saddest part still about this, it's not women who are giving me this shit. They'll give me that shit after I piss them off and tell them no. But I get this shit from other men bashing other men. And I'm not saying that any man is above ridicule just because we're a man. It's not that. But you're shaming me based on female validation and not on any kind of talking point that I may be on. It's just, okay, I'm saying something dead ass true. You can't argue it. Oh, let me just talk about how women don't like you. And masturbation is definitely in that group right there. Some of the men I'm around right now, there was some kind of looking at porn, and I'm over here like, all right, then. I think it's kind of weird to be looking around porn with a whole bunch of other dudes, but that's something that's just some weird factor that men got to talk through. I'm not trying to shame it so much, but it's like we got to tighten up. Something's wrong here. But they're doing it, and then all of a sudden the joke is, oh, this guy's going, he's seen that, now he's going to go masturbate. Like, why would you say that? And why would you say it in a negative? You're watching porn. That would automatically assume that you're going to take some time to masturbate. But why would you address it towards somebody else as another man as a negative?
Why are you even thinking about another man possibly beating off anywhere?
That's a good question too. But these things are so normalized that a lot of men don't actually take the time to say, wait a minute, why am I thinking this way? Why am I shaming this man for masturbating? Why am I concerned about him masturbating? I don't know, but we need to have these discussions, these open forums, actually talking about this, to ask these questions, and like, dude, we need to take a step back and look at ourselves and realize what we're doing to ourselves, not just the individual, but as men as a whole too. We got to stop beating ourselves down just to making some arbitrary female happy, who typically are not happy with themselves. So why the hell you want to try to make someone else happy that doesn't know how to be happy? We cannot get caught. We're being caught up in these loopholes, and it's just sad. Somebody needs to pump the brakes and like, look, what I do in my private time is my private time. That's all you really need to know. Now, excuse me, I gotta go because this is getting weird. Good luck to you.
Yeah, man. I totally agree. Like, I feel like there's way too many things that's considered normal amongst a group of men, and I always wasn't really cool with that shit. Like, all the way down to men talking shit about each other, all the way down, and it being labeled as, oh, we just joking, or oh, we just clowning, man. When they know damn well some of the truth of what they feel is actually hidden behind quote unquote humor. Like, some of this shit shouldn't even be considered cool. Like, and I think that's a part of some of the feminism, or not feminism, but some of the feminine energy. Yeah, some of the femininity that's kind of trickled into a lot of men in terms of society, and like how we've been kind of raised by feminine lenses, man. I think that's some of the shit that's been sprinkled in. There's nothing wrong with humor. There's nothing wrong making little jokes about each other. But it then got to a point where now motherfuckers be making jokes and they be hiding true feelings behind those jokes. And they try to slide it in with humor. And that shit should not be acceptable amongst men. I feel like we should feel more comfortable to keep it 100 with each other as men and not hide some of the truth in a joke. Because what they want to do, right when you address something that they say, what's the first thing they try to run to? Oh, man, I'm just joking, man. You can't take a joke? Nah, motherfucker, you ain't joking, man. That's you feel that way. But you're not man enough to address that or to say that to me on a real level shit. Not realizing that I'll actually respect you more as a man if you did that. So I think that's another thing too that needs to be normalized. And the reason why I said that is just because of your point and what you were talking about. I'm like, there's some things in society concerning groups of men that we need to definitely change, and we need to definitely start kind of structuralizing amongst men and how we interact with each other, because some of this shit is kind of soft. Like, yeah, I never really was a big fan of that. But in a nutshell, going back to what you're saying, man, like I think that is a part of it too. That's why the shame gets connected, because it ends up being that. Now we like you just said too, we're gonna just kind of hop, skip, and jump over the fact that we 3-4 men watching porn right now. Like I never really was into that either. Like yeah, maybe I might have one of my friends and they may pull some shit up, be like, yo, Kev, look at this, or KG, look at this. And I might look for a second, okay, bet. But like, I'm not gonna just be sitting there getting into porn, like with my dudes and nothing like that. That is weird. I mean, now if it's just now I ain't gonna say if it's just a chick, if it's just a girl, to me that's a little different. I feel like if it's like a dude and the dude is banging the chick, that's when it's kind of like, but if it's just a chick, it's a little different, because it's just women.
Yeah, showing off a hot woman. Hey, this is a hot little woman right here. Okay. But we're watching the whole shebang from start to finish with a bunch of dudes. We need to look at ourselves at that one. Gentlemen, look at me. Outside looking in. Come on now.
Yeah, like, hold up, guys. There's something about this just isn't hitting right. Like, but
you got on that note, that's why I like to call thinking outside the box, where you have to. It's not about pulling something brand new out of the air. It's about looking at the world in a diagram and realize that everybody is a Lego piece. Watch how they move, but you got to put yourself in there too. See how you move too. So when you start looking at life that way, you kind of watch your behavior a little bit more, seeing what kind of physical body signals that you're actually making and how you're engaging with others.
Yeah, man, it's definitely necessary. Like you have to. I even had to really, I had to start, kind of like looking at that and evaluating that, because it's just good to know. It's good to understand. It's good to know in terms of yourself, knowing self, and understanding and knowing others. Like, it's good to be able to keep tabs on that, and it's also a part of taking responsibility for self as a man. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I totally agree with that, bro. And yeah, that, and all men, I'm sure most men can attest to that or have had those moments. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When you're young, like when you're younger, and you're teenagers, come on, now that's it's more. I guess it's more accepting or
acceptable.
Yeah, kind of, but I'm thinking of a different word. Like it's more predictable, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like y'all immature. So of course you get one dude get a hold of support. Of course y'all, 5 of y'all gonna be over there watching it, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all young and y'all immature and y'all, but
there's a certain coming of age where it's like you gotta let go of this childish stuff. Because being up in your 30s and your 40s and still doing this stuff, thinking about that go along to get along politics, you got to be the most popular dude in the group and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. It's just weird.
It is, man. Especially once we get to a certain age. Like me and you, we 34. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you get in your 30s, certain shit shouldn't be cool anymore. In a group of men. Like, if one dude do some shit that's kind of like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? We should all kind of be looking at each other like, yo, what the fuck is this dude doing? Then the joke should actually turn on to him, to the person who trying to clown another dude for some shit. It's like, nah, motherfucker, you acting like a kid right now. Like wow. But anyway, yeah, man, that was a good one though, with the point that you made, Tony, like about the whole, he has to masturbate because he's not getting ass. Like, yeah, that definitely was a big one, but like, that's some immature shit too. It's like as grown men, we should be able to look at this concept of not getting ass in a totally different lens because, we men now. Mm-hmm. We're men, meaning we don't need pussy to now don't get me wrong, pussy is enjoyable and fun, but I'm just saying like we don't need that to make us as men. We don't need that to that doesn't give us value. That's not our value. I get pussy. That's not our main value as grown men. I'm hitting this chick and I'm hitting his chick, that don't make you valuable as a man because you're doing that. And any man that's gonna go to another man and be like, oh, you probably beating off, man, because you can't get no pussy. You're a kid, man. Get the fuck out of here. Like you're a child. You're thinking like a kid, like a teenager. You thinking like a kid that's in his early 20s that's finally getting pussy, and they're like, oh my God, they don't know what to do with themselves. Like you sound like a little kid. Get out of here.
I openly said this stuff to inmates when I was a CO. What happened? We got company.
Huh?
We got company. I thought you were looking off to. Okay. I openly said this stuff and made this point to inmates when I was a CO because first of all, a lot of them are just acting like kids and clowns themselves while they're in there, and then I'm like, they want to say, hey man, how come you ain't over there trying to get all this stuff? And then anytime a female CO comes around and I'm just talking to her, they always try to make the thing, oh, you're trying to do this. I'm like, dude, we're grown ass men. Stop being childish. And then I just basically started saying females are not a priority for me. They're like, what? They're baffled, mind blown all of a sudden. I just openly said that females are not a priority. And of course they, do the masturbation joking and stuff like that. But then I had to look at me versus them. Y'all make some fucked up decisions and y'all don't even want to own up to or make the changes necessary. Y'all just stuck right there in this childish mindset, and here you are. You really think I'm really going to be ashamed by you? Come on now.
Yeah, you got motherfuckers in prison trying to clown you or try to. It's like, nigga, you in jail, motherfucker. Like, you in prison. You can't even go out and live your life freely because of the decisions and the choices that you made. You think I'm going to be worried about your judgment? Your judgment is clearly fucked up. Now you're not even free. Like,
it's like, y'all can talk all the rest you want. Because at 6 a.m., I'm going to go to IHOP and get a big old steak omelet, some pancakes. I'll think about you while I'm eating it.
Facts, man. Facts. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, man. If people, I'm telling you, like I wouldn't even waste my time with dudes like that. If they coming up and that's their like fight or their the point that they want to make, like, oh, you ain't getting bitches or you ain't getting ass. Yep. Like I feel like once you get over 30 or you get older, we need to be talking about other things like, oh, you ain't got no land, like, oh, you ain't got no, real estate in your name, like, oh, you ain't, you ain't got no cash flow coming from this angle. Oh, how many streams of income do you got? Like, I feel like that should be the conversations now. It shouldn't be, how much ass you getting.
I agree. Because being this old, a man of a certain age, it's like, why am I concerned about this again? If it comes, it comes. I even use this analogy. I prioritize ice cream over vitamin P. Because ice cream because it's cheap, it's abundant, it tastes good even after its expiration date when it's all melted and whatnot, and it serves its purpose without talking back. So ice cream to me is more valuable than vitamin P because you can't say all those things about vitamin P. So if I got a chance to get some ice cream and then I got some chick over there, hi, I'm looking at that ice cream. Because I see more what's connected to you. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel you coming from. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, if I was gonna choose from a piece of pussy and some ice cream, I'm gonna do that pussy, man. And then go get the ice cream after I'm done. You know what I'm saying? After I put after I do my thing, then I can go get some ice cream afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I'll even share it with her. But if you want some ice cream too, fuck it, we can both eat. But you know, right?
That usually recharge.
But it's from a different lens though. It's not like, I'm just gonna be out here fucking random bitches. See, that's the thing that I think a lot of these younger cats don't realize either. They think that makes them valuable and it makes them more manly if they smashing a whole bunch of women. But what they don't realize is they're opening themselves up to a whole bunch of energies that they're not even aware of and don't even understand yet. They're opening themselves up to all these different pockets of energy, and a lot of shit come with people. You don't even have to fuck. You don't even have to have sex with a woman, you know, for things to come with that woman. You don't even have to have sex with people for things to come with people. So just imagine once you start to sexually connect with people and you interact in sex, that's opening up all types of doors. And I think that's why a lot of men end up going through a lot of shit. That's why I was going through certain shit I ain't had no business going through when I was younger. When you chasing pussy, you get what comes with pussy. See, in my mind, what I would tell a lot of these young dudes, what I tell a lot of these young cats, I'm like, yo, y'all be treating pussy like as if y'all treat pussy like as if there's a lack of pussy on this earth. There's no lack. The world is abundant with pussy. This world is abundant with pussy. Literally billions of pussies in this entire world, right? Literally. It's not something, you know, the world doesn't lack pussy. Pussy is abundant and you can get pussy. Y'all sit here and feel like y'all got to crush everything that y'all see in sight. That make y'all look stupid. It make y'all look hasty. It makes you, it obviously puts you in a position where you could easily be manipulated. All the nigga got to do, all your enemy got to do to you is put some pussy in your face. And while you all up in that pussy, while you going in that pussy, now you getting robbed, you getting set up, you don't even know what's going on. Because you got to get pussy because because I'm that nigga, I get pussy, I'm that nigga, I be crushing I be smashing these chicks. But you ain't even thinking, it puts you in a more susceptible position to be taken advantage of in an art of war, in a place of war. Somebody can easily set you up. All I gotta do is put some pussy in your face.
Yep.
But they don't want to think about that. That's why I drop jewels on young dudes. When young dudes come at me with that energy, talking about, oh, you ain't getting no ass, I'm like, you stupid as hell. Somebody could easily use pussy to kill you, nigga. You sitting here, think, man. Use your brain. Like really think about it. Think about it for a second.
Last note, a comment that somebody made to me. He wanted to show off his wife. He's like, "Oh, look at my wife. She's all hot in this. This is my love. Where's your love, man?" I looked at him and said, "My wallet." Then all of a sudden he's like, "Man, that ain't fair, man." I'm like, "Shit." Like it when that pendulum swings back. Was ready for that.
Yep, hit it right in the mouth, and it's the truth, you know. But yeah, I would have said, shoot, my love is with myself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people run and get people and feel like they need to connect with people because they don't have a healthy relationship with themselves or they don't love themselves. A lot of the times, men and women will go chasing for the opposite sex and wanting a relationship because they don't know how to sit and love themselves. They're not comfortable with themselves. They don't appreciate themselves. They don't even feel comfortable being alone. Like they can't even be alone for more than 2 hours without feeling like, oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. And you know, a lot of these men too to be moving like that. Don't get me wrong, like to each his own. If you want to have sex with women and enjoy multiple women, that's fine. That's your choice. I ain't coming at nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But you need to really understand and ask yourself, why do you need to do that though? Like what type of void are you trying to fill with smashing all these women? What's the end goal? Like what other than busting a nut? Because we just talked about it earlier. The more nuts you bust, the less pleasurable it is. Like after you done bust 3, 4, 5 nuts, you have 4 nuts. You try to bust that 5th nut, it's not going to be as pleasurable. So what really are you trying to attain, or what void are you really trying to fill by smashing all these women? You know, I had friends that were like that. And don't get me wrong. Like I mess with a good amount. I'm not gonna lie. I got my shit like in my stage. You know, I probably mess with about 40 something women. Like I got a lot now, but nowhere near compared to some of the guys I was rocking with. We talking 100, 200, 300 women, 400.
You say?
And it's just, I just used to ask myself, I'm like, and some of these guys, I really cared about them, man. Like I loved them, man, you know, as brothers. But I would think in my heart, I'm like, yo, what are they really like trying to, what void are they trying to fill? Like, messing with all these chicks. Like, what's going on? And that's when I started to kind of really look deep and think deeply into it. And I'm like, okay, this is a deeper issue. They don't feel like they're enough. Like they feel like they have to do that to feel more, probably more validated, accepted, or to feel like they're enough. The more women that they have sex with, it makes them feel more manly, or it makes them feel as cool as, say, the other guys, or, you know, it just seems like, it just really seems like a very unhealthy space. You know what I'm saying? So when I get around men and I hear men talking like that, man, like, yeah, man, I'm fucking as many women as I can on a regular, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, man, I hope you don't learn your lesson in a bad way.
I hear the two extremes of that. Either A, they're out here trying to bang any woman they got, or B, it's like they got to choose one or the other. Banging all these women, or they got to get married to have that one access to vitamin P. And I'm like, why not a happy median where you have an X amount of number, let's just say 3 women, and you get with them according to how that you interact with them. One's really good at sex, one's really good at cooking, one's really good to talk to. It's like you can't be satisfied with that. It's all about, you know, because you're comfortable with yourself more. And it's like you pick them up when you need them rather than you got to be with one or the other. It's like they couldn't have wrapped their head around that one, though. But to each his own. It is what it is.
Facts. It definitely is what it is, man. And when you're younger, obviously it seems more cool, but it comes from an immature mindset. State. If I'm around a dude that's 30 and up and he's still talking about, yeah, man, I'm trying to fuck as many women as I can, I'm not interested in being around him anymore, honestly. And I know some men will probably look at me like, damn, man, that's kind of cold. But it's like, nah, bro, I see where your mind is. Like, we don't think on the same wavelength. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that's your goal, you just like, I'm trying to fuck as many women as I can. We can't really build with each other. Because I know all it's going to take is, you know, some women to come in the picture and now your attention is gone, you know.
I'm just going to see that from afar. I'm going to respectfully bow out.
Facts, you know. Hold on, wait, what you mean by that? Because I kind of...
But you see these red flags. This is where this dude's headspace at. I'm going to not mess with him. I'm going to not mess with him because if a woman could probably come between what interaction that I even have with this man. It's like, okay, we're getting along this notion. Here comes Thought Tisha, boom, boom, Melinda, and he's gone. He just dropped everything that we were doing. I'm like, damn, like that, huh?
Exactly. Like, one thing about you, Tony, like, you know, just from getting to know you, I mean, we've been doing this shit. This is episode 15. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a minute, man. I mean, what is it? You got 4 months in a week. Yeah, we're almost looking about 4 months of doing the show. And, like, seeing where your head is at concerning women, one thing I do know about you is I don't have to worry about you, you know, choosing a woman over, you know, what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do with the podcast and boom, bam, boom, you know. So there's just certain things that I think that, you know, as men, we need to definitely think about and keep in mind, man, because it's something to, you know, it's something to think about. All right, Simply Deep 1985 says, sup, Black Superman and Tony in the chat. What up, Simply Deep 1985? Salute. Darius Weber, he said, just go on semen retention. It's definitely life-changing. Hey, it is, man. It is. Especially for men who may deal with porn addiction or masturbation addiction. Yeah, it is. You'll feel like a new man. Like if you stop for a good amount of time. One thing that I noticed when I stopped was my strength. I just felt stronger. I'm like, damn, this is wow. And I felt like I could perform better when I would work out, like energy levels, obviously sex drive. Yeah, there's benefits to it, man. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. All right, Simply Deep 1985 said, I'm doing all right, guys. How about yourselves? Hey, man, I'm good, man. We good money over here, man, you know. Keeping it real, man. But yeah, this is a good episode, man. I think we was able to really dig deep, you know, on this specific, you know, concept in terms of porn. Me personally, I wouldn't say that porn is necessarily bad for men. I think being addicted to porn is bad for men. Like utilizing porn in the wrong way or developing an unhealthy relationship with porn is bad. You know, I think that could have some pretty negative effects on your life and just on you and what you're trying to do and achieve in your life. That's my personal opinion, man. What about you, Tony?
You just have to be aware of the purpose of porn and why you're seeking it out, and understand it's just there for that immediate comfort. It's like an old comfortable sweater. You take it out of the closet, you put it on, you feel warm and cozy, but then it's time to put it back.
Yeah, and I honestly agree with that a lot, man. If you had that type of, you know, self-control and you can manage that, you see what I'm saying? If you can manage that and you have self-control, then obviously you can prevent it from becoming very unhealthy. Um, you know, even with good things, you know, too much of a good thing isn't good for you, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can literally eat 1,000 pounds of blueberries, man, and you're going to be messed up in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you, but that could fuck you up. So it's just something to think about, guys. But yeah, man, like I said, I really feel like we dug deep on this one. Look, I want to thank y'all for watching, man, and thank y'all for your support, man. Episode 15. We're going to keep it coming, man. We're probably going to go to, like I said a couple episodes ago, we're probably going to go to about episode 20. And then we're going to, you know, step off and start working on season 3 for y'all, man. Try to step it up and you know, make season 3 even better than this one. But thank y'all for your support, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Mad love. Salute to, you know, all the VKP guys that rock with us, Virility Kings out there. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all know I finish every episode off with this statement, or most episodes. You know, every man is a king of his own world. Embrace your masculinity and build your kingdom, kings. Salute.